Are there any Segulos from the Rebbe to help one find a Shidduch?
You ask any Segulos, there's a lot of Segulos from the Rebbe, so to sit here and be able to tell all the things that there are won't be shaykh, and especially it's all printed in different books, etc. But I'll try and give a few, the general guideline of the idea. The first thing that the Rebbe over and over emphasizes, and therefore also in each situation it's a little bit different, is that there's two aspects for the Shidduch, for being able to find the Shidduch. Aspect number one is a person's realizing that it's all coming from Hashem. No matter what I do, it all comes from Hashem. Hashem is the one who does it, and He loves me because I'm His only child, and therefore He wants it. Especially I'm trying to do what He wants by finding a Shidduch. He'll certainly, without a doubt, help me do it. But I have to add and make bigger the tzinoiros, the pipes that bring down Hashem's brachas. That's number one. Number two is that Hashem also wants me to do hishtadlus, to try on my own in whichever way I can according to the natural way of things. Both have to come together, because if I just try and I don't realize it's coming from Hashem, I won't get anywhere. If I just try and I don't show actively that I realize it's coming from Hashem, then I'm missing the main point. But if I only believe and trust that it's coming from Hashem and I don't do what I can to try, then I'm not doing what Hashem wants me to do. So the first thing is the tzinoiros, the pipes that bring down all these brachas. In general is Torah and mitzvahs. Each and every person fulfilling and completing their job and their mission in this world, doing what's demanded of me. When I do what Hashem wants of me, He's going to help me do what I want to do, and especially this is also something that He wants me to do. So in that there's each person in their own way, but in general it means making sure that in my way and the things that are important for me, I'm completing and doing more in Torah and mitzvahs. The things that perhaps are specifically brought out is the idea of chitas and Rambam, the shiurim that I'm supposed to say every day, whichever they may be. If it's a mitzvah, one perek, 3 prakim, but it's something which connects me to the Rebbe, which makes me fulfill the things that the Rebbe wants of me in learning Torah, and therefore that will cause that Hashem should do what I want from Him. That's something which is for sure a very strong and powerful point. Adding and increasing and giving tzedakah is also something where I'm helping another Jew, and specifically when I do what I can to help other people with shidduchim, whether it's a poor chassan and kala, whether sometimes we say that with regards to a shidduch for a older sibling, that the younger sibling wants to get engaged before them, the fact that they give them permission, they're helping them, that's a segula for them to find their shidduch. Doing what I can in my part of that, in giving to others. Giving tzedakah every day before davening, because that helps my tefillahs be answered. So a few cents at least every day before davening. And incidentally, it's an interesting thing that the Rebbe gave a that when you chassan and kala are going on shidduchim, when they get to the place that they're going to go on the shidduch, they should have a pushka, which you usually anyway have a pushka in the car, and both of them should give tzedakah. So whether you want to take the tzedakah pushka out to the place or give the tzedakah in the car, but the idea is in the place where you're going to go to give tzedakah, because helping another Jew as in the brachas of Hashem. Tznius is something which is extremely important, because that's something which brings all the brachas, and especially when you're trying to establish a Jewish home, which is also important when going out on shidduchim, to make sure it's done in the proper tznius manner by asking a Rav and speaking to a Rav, whether it's yichud in the car, etc., etc. And the concepts also is helping others, as we said, tzedakah, which is helping others in both teaching children, hafatzas hamayanis, especially to children, and having an involvement. If someone has a job in a Chabad Moisa, to not run away from the job, but on the contrary, to increase in the job, especially a job that involves educating children. These are but some of the things that the Rebbe gives, but which gives a general guideline. I add in what is asked of me, that adds in bringing Hashem's brachas, especially things which are connected to this idea of Shidduchim. The other thing is actually working. Especially for the boy, we know Aish darkoi lichboish. The man has to search for his zivug like someone looks for a lost object. He can't sit with his arms folded and do segulos and spiritual things and say, well, now I'll get it. Hashem wants me to get involved and to do what I can, to get involved in every way I can, to realize this is what Hashem wants of me, and to do it as much as possible in every possible way, to spare no involvement, to be involved in every possible way to make sure that it happens. And that's the general idea of doing what I can according to the laws of the Torah, of course, with a shadchan and tachlis atznius, etc., because that's the only way I'll bring Hashem's brachas. But realizing at the same time that this ishtadlus that I'm getting involved isn't because this is what's making it happen. It's because I'm doing what Hashem wants me, according to the way Hashem wants me. That's why it will happen. And that's why it has to all be done with a full simcha and bitachon, to realize once again that Hashem wants it. And I want to do what Hashem wants. And I am Hashem's only child, and there's no question in the world that Hashem will make it happen. The more I have simcha, joy, and the more I have bitachon, trust in Hashem, the quicker and the better it will happen in the best possible way, in a way, the way I want it, in the b'tova nira, in an open and revealed good, the way Hashem ultimately wants it.